Okay, so the next set of notes is going to be how to divide with decimals. How to divide with decimals. So with word problems, the topic is going to be called dividing decimals. And this strategy is going to be completely different than the strategy of multiplying decimals. And it sounds funny at first, but once you see how it works, it's going to make a lot of sense to you. But the strategy for dividing decimals is called the decimal is your dog. The decimal is your dog. And a lot of students have pets at home. You have dogs at home, so you'll really understand this example here in a minute. But right now, you're probably completely confused. So the decimal is your dog works like this. You have to get your dog back to the house then move the same number of spots under the house. Last, bring up the new decimal. Okay, so this would be the strategy of how to divide with decimals. If you don't understand it, that is perfectly fine right now. So let me explain it to you guys. We'll solve some examples and then you'll see how it works. So the decimal is your dog. Get your dog back to the house, then move the same number of spots under the house. And the last step is to bring up the new decimal. Let me show you what this looks like. So here's an example. We're going to have our division house. And inside of it, let's put 3.84. On the outside of it, let's put decimal 2. If that decimal was not there, then this would be a simple problem for you guys. We've been working with this for like the last 2 weeks, which is division. So you know the steps to solve that. What you're going to have trouble with. So right now, this decimal is going to be your dog. And this is your house. So right now, if we look, our dog is away from the house. And we know that very, very bad things can happen if our dog is away from the house. So some things that might happen is your dog might get hit by a car. Someone could steal your dog. It might get taken to the dog catcher might pick it up and take it to the pound. So a lot of things can happen if your dog is away from the house. So what we want to do is we want to get our dog back to the house. So let's do that. So we're getting our dog back to the house. So what you see me, what I did there was I moved it one spot to the right so that I could get my dog back to the house. That's the first part about get your dog back to the house. Then move the same number of spots under the house. So I went one spot to the right. That's what I'm going to do to the decimal under the house. I'm going to go one spot to the right and put the decimal there. The last thing to do is to bring up the new decimal. So this is my new decimal. I'm going to bring it straight up to the top now. And this is where it belongs. This is where it's going to stay. Right there. Once I did the strategy of the decimals your dog and I got it back to the house and I did the same thing under the house and brought it up, now I can start to look at it like a regular division problem. So a regular division problem would be, I have 3 controllers. Can 2 people play? Yes. 1 time. So we have 1 times 2 is 2. Sister subtract. Brother bring down. I have 18 controllers. Can 2 people play? Yes. 9 times. So 9 times 2. 18. Sister subtract. 0. Brother bring down. I have 4 controllers. Can 2 people play? Yes. 2 times. That's going to be a 4. And we finish off with an answer of 19.2. 19.2. And then just to be sure, we're going to go ahead and check it right here. 3.84 divided by 0.2 is 19.2. 19.2. Perfect. So this is how the strategy works of getting the decimal, or the decimal is your dog, and we get the dog back to our house. Okay, so we're going to work another example real quick just to make sure that you're understanding how this strategy works. So here's our next example. We're going to have our house. We're going to have 5 on the inside and decimal 11 on the outside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the 5 into $5, into money. So decimal 0, 0. So I'm doing a division problem that has decimals in it. So I'm going to remember my strategy of the decimal is my dog. And I have to get my dog back to the house. So let's do that. 1, 2. So I had to move my decimal 2 spots to the right. I'm going to do the same thing under the house. 1, 2. My new decimal goes right here, and I'm going to bring it up to the top. That's where the new decimal is going to go and stay there. So now I can solve it like a regular division problem. I have 5 controllers. Can 11 people play? No. 50 controllers. Can 11 people play? Yes, they can play 4 times. So 4 times 11, 44. Sister subtract. Brother bring down. I've got 60 controllers. Can 11 people play? Yes. 5 times, which is 55. Sister subtract. And I have 45. But if I want my answer to look like money, I'm going to go ahead and add another 0 to the end. And brother bring down. So now I have 50 controllers. Can 11 people play? Yes. 4 times. Sister subtract. And I need one more to make it look like money, so I'm going to add one more 0. Bring it down. 60 controllers. Can 11 people play? Yes. 5 times. That's 55. And what you're going to notice is that you're having the same numbers repeat over and over and over again. You have the 55, and here's the 55 again. So because it's going to be repeating, what you're seeing repeat is the 45. So it's 45, 45, 45, 45. So because the 45 is repeating, we're going to put a repeating bar over the 45. So our final answer will look like 45 decimal 45 with a repeating bar over it. And let's just make sure with the calculator what answer it gives us. We had 5 divided by decimal 11, 45.45, 45, 45, 45. So it's repeating, which is why we have the repeating bar there. So we'll go ahead and we'll get some more practice here with dividing decimals and using the strategy of the decimal is our dog.